and welcome to Real Watchers Movie Club. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your hosts. Movie Club is a show where we discuss a movie every week and pick one, just like a book club. On today's show, we are covering the indie animated film It's Such a Beautiful Day. Our thoughts and more are coming up on Movie Club. Released in 2012, It's Such a Beautiful Day was directed by Don Hertzfeldt and stars Don Hertzfeldt and Sarah Cushman. Bill struggles to put together his shattered psyche and reflects on the past, present, and future. It has a 4.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd and is ranked 85 on its top 250. Before we dive into our thoughts, though, we do want to issue a spoiler warning for the movie. We're going to talk about everything that happens over the course of it, and we don't want to ruin it for anyone, because I think that if you've never seen this movie before, you should go in blind. But, of course, stay tuned to find out what movie we're covering next week, because we're going from indie to one of the biggest studios imaginable. Alrighty, Kevin, so It's Such a Beautiful Day was my pick this week, and honestly, I mean, I'm going to spoil how I feel about this movie. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the best animated film I've ever seen.
Okay.
It's literally in the top 5, if not number 1, but it is in the top 5 for sure. It's a movie that is something that is very special and near and dear to me, and so I wanted to put it on here when I saw that it was on the top 250 for Letterboxd, because it's something that I want really everyone to experience at least once. And so, had you ever heard of this movie at all?
I think you talked about this movie once. I don't know
I'm
how.
sure I
Maybe
have.
you got it on Blu-ray or something like that when it came
Yeah.
in.
I have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, so maybe that's when I heard the movie, about the movie, but knew nothing about it. I knew it was an indie animated movie, though, so that was the only two things I knew about it.
Gotcha. Well, you went in almost as blind as you could go. So let's go ahead and dive in. Kevin, I mean, I already spoiled my thoughts, but what were your kind of spoiler-free thoughts walking out of the movie?
Walking out of the movie as I was sitting in my chair, it was good. I really enjoyed how some indie films feel that they want to be a big production film. This one does not. It just wants to be an indie film, and I really enjoy that. I'm going to say something. I know it's not simple to make an animated film, but this looks very simple, and it looks very nice as well, with some different twists and kind of camera movements as well, or different scenarios that happen in this movie. I really enjoyed because of how just weird it was at some points, but how you get to care for the character and you kind of understand what he's kind of going through half the time. You don't, like, when I was first watching it, I was like, okay, I kind of get it. It's like a life story of Bill, that is the main character of this movie, and what's gonna happen, and that's what intrigued me the most, is why are we following just one person? Why are we following Bill? Why can't we follow two people in this movie or anything like that? But I like how he focuses on Bill in this movie because it gives you so much more emotions on having one character to focus on, and Bill is our main character, and you feel for Bill the entire fucking way. So I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, and I want to kind of expand on that a little bit, right? Because we feel for Bill, and we talked a little bit about this before we recorded this, but like there are movies that are made with hundreds of millions more dollars that do not get you to care about a character in any way like we learned to care about Bill in this movie.
No, absolutely not. It's he, and you know, the craziest thing, he doesn't show emotions in this movie. His face is very it's if you don't know what we're talking about, it's a pencil drawing, like a stick figure. A very nice stick figure. My stick figure just looks like shit, so it's better than mine. But he doesn't show emotions. Because I don't know if he can't display his emotions in a type of way or anything like that. But he's so, I don't want to say dull, but again, no, he's emotionless in this movie. But you feel so much emotion when you're walking in his shoes.
Yeah, 100%. Like you feel everything that this character is going through, and He really is a stand-in for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's every single one of us can find or see something in him. And I think that's what's really special, right? Like obviously we're not losing our psyche in the same way that he is, right?
But we can't say that for everybody. Some people
No, I'm
might
saying
watch
like
this.
we, like you and I.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
someone who's watching this might be going through the same mental health struggles. But then
Mm-hmm.
you can also look into this as like, yeah, he's having health issues, but like there's other things. Like I look into this, I see myself in this movie, but with depression, and
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure that some people will see it with things like
Anxiety.
maybe like neurodivergence, like autism, or
Mm-hmm.
also anxiety is another big one, or like there's so much that you could like, and it's all this goddamn stick figure that you just identify with so
And
well.
and it doesn't diagnose him in the movie, and I think that's what's important as well. It could be all of those diagnoses that we just put out there. It could be anything that you want it to be.
Hmm.
Sometimes I felt like at the end of this movie, I had different things at the end of this movie how I felt, but I felt like take one day at a time as a beautiful day. And that's what I really enjoy about this movie is because yes, you can go through all of these struggles that he puts out there for you. You don't have to put yourself out there, and at the end of the day, hey, it's such a beautiful day outside, and that's what I really enjoyed it because, again, some people struggle with a lot of the things that we brought up. Some people don't, but some people are just sad all the time. It's not like mentally sad or depressed or anything like that. They're just not where they want to be, and that's okay to not be where you want to be. But you have to think of it as like, you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. Like nothing can stop you the next day.
And there's a lot to say too, like when you're getting over a health thing or even a mental health issue, and you're like, no, I'm going to be better. Like
Hmm.
in this movie, it's I'm not going to die. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to keep going, right? And everyone, I would like to say everyone has that moment, but like it's one of those things you definitely strive for,
Hmm.
where you want to have that powerful moment, that internal courage or strength to be like, no, I'm going to get better than this. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do that thing I've always wanted to do. I'm going to learn that language. I'm going to ask that person out. I'm going to survive this cancer, whatever it could be. Right? We
Hmm.
all have those moments, and he has it at the end. And in this movie, it's a little bit more, artistic, of course,
Hmm. Hmm.
because he's literally making himself immortal. But we can all relate to that. And I think that by making this movie and like one of the other things, like we see a lot of his weird family in this movie.
I love his description of his family though.
A lot
Like
of us, a
the
lot of them
frick
died at trains.
yeah. But the other thing is too the description of like I choose the fruit from the back because people's stomachs hit the ones in the front, and I'm
That's
like,
because they're at groin level.
yeah, at Greenwell, but I'm like, wait, that's so damn true. Like I didn't think about that.
And then there's
And
later the part later on where he's sticking all their groins in the goddamn produce. And it's
yeah.
those thoughts that you have, right? And
Hmm.
but like it feels so realistic. Like the way the narrator talks, which is Don Hertzfeldt, the director, by the way, and the
Hmm.
animator who's doing the narration for it. And the way that he speaks is just so like it's normal internal thoughts.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
well, I wasn't there yesterday. I'm like, where did I put my keys? Like that kind of thing. But then it's in the animation that we get to see the weird little things, the nightmares, the dreams. The pop is leaking, just
Yeah.
over and over again. Like, and then the noises that are in the background. I think like when he's watching the fight on TV,
Yeah, I was
and you
just gonna
just
bring that up, and then
yeah, yeah.
huh.
And then later you see him get replaced as the
Hmm.
person getting punched, which was an interesting visual. Um, but then also the way this movie edits in like real footage and other kinds of artwork, and
Like,
the way that
uh,
light plays into this is really interesting.
well, like how he takes photos a lot of the time, little spritz and photos on the screen, and how he uses kind of a spotlight during this is it's you don't want to see the whole screen, but just what you need to focus on is that spotlight, and which I really enjoyed as well. But having when he's in the hospital, not the first time, the second time where he's with the other guy that only can press one. He has 5 buttons, but can
I'm
only
in
presses
pain.
one. I'm in pain. And he describes the sun hitting the dull gray sheets or the drape in between him, but it looks so pretty at the same time. And it's like that shouldn't look pretty, but it is at the same time. It's really intriguing in how he thought of how to say that.
Yeah, and also like I love the part like whenever he mentions the other guy in the room, it like very lowly plays "I'm in pain."
I'm in pain.
But like there's also a dark sense of humor to this.
Oh, there
Like
is.
like I immediately think to the part when it flashes back to him as a kid, and it talks about how his brother is there, and how his
Is it with the
brother
metal
goes,
hands?
yeah, and he chases after the
Clink,
seagull,
clink.
going boon,
Boon,
boon.
boon.
It cracks me up. It's so sad.
But the thing is, he gives like we understand his brother because it's like my mom had to make a circle and make sure, or he had to stay in the tetherball circle so he wouldn't
Hmm.
run off. Well, he's not in the tetherball circle, so he
Yep,
ran off. So it
yep.
makes total sense. And his freaking his arms look like coat hangers, and when they clink together, and the stupid clink.
It's it's so funny, but the look on his face as he's chasing the seagull is so saddening to me
Hmm.
because it's just this longing. It's a fucking stick figure, dude. But the emotion in his face is there, and
And
it's just
well, even all
oh.
of them have emotions, the stick figures.
Mhm.
Even his uncle, who is not understanding why he has to be there, at the hospital, and
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, he looks very annoyed. He's a goddamn stick figure. How do I know if he looks annoyed? He doesn't really move or have a mouth. Like, but in my head, I'm like, dude, he's annoyed.
yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, like he's there because obviously it's a family thing, but also like you're annoyed because you know
He had to fly down from wherever he was to come to the hospital to see him. He's annoyed because he had to fly down. And
Yep.
like him and his ex-girlfriend, who the ex-girlfriend brings the new boyfriend to the freaking hospital to bed. That was interesting thing, but it made it for an awkward situation where now them two can be alone because the boyfriend saw how awkward it was, so he stays in
Yeah.
the car now and stuff. And the freaking the freaking dreams he has when he's going into space, so he eats ice cream so he doesn't have a stroke when they land in Earth. And I'm like, that makes no sense, but it's so funny at the same time.
It has these super hysterical moments, and
Hmm.
like, but that's just like he Hertzfeld is a master of the bizarre and but like the oddly charming, right? Like he's
Hmm.
the same director that did the rejected cartoons, which everyone saw when they were younger,
Hmm.
like the crazy little cartoons. And then later on, did another Academy Award nominated short called World of Tomorrow, which is also fantastic. Like he's an exceptionally talented director at bringing the like everyone's experience and kind of distilling it down into a way that feels so singular, but also feels like it's everyone, and it's
And
such a unique thing.
well, it's unique and everybody can relate to it one way or another, like how we were talking about in the beginning of this episode. You can be going through different situations in your life, but still, when you watch this movie, maybe I'll watch this movie 20 years from now and get something else out of it, which would be interesting to do. But when he was walking, when he gets back from the hospital and he's like, oh, I'm going to go outside, I'm going to take a walk. And he keeps repeating what he's going to do. He goes past well, it's the Golden State Bridge, but he says a bridge and the farmer's market on the right hand side. And he keeps doing that. I'm like, oh, what if he has dementia? Like, like I was thinking of diagnoses to be like, well, that sounds like dementia because he doesn't remember he already went for that walk, and then him the animator putting stick figures in there just the second time he goes on that walk to introduce, like, he's not really alone, but he's still isolated a little bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's truly fascinating stuff.
Mhm.
It's one of these movies that it's a comfort movie to me.
Mhm.
I can put this on and just feel happy, but then it's also a movie that like I cry when I watch this movie, man. Like I don't know, it touches me personally in some way, and I'll need to watch it again to try and figure out why and how and where it does. But man, this it's such a beautiful day. Is such a beautiful movie.
Yeah. And another funny comedy one where it's like, I was standing at the bus stop and the guy behind me had a cow head, but I didn't want to turn around because I didn't want him to know I was staring at his cow head. It's like, what?
And all the people at the grocery store had the heads of demons,
Yeah.
and then they were sticking their groins in all the goddamn
Goddamn
produce.
produce. It's so good. So good.
All right, Kevin. So this was my pick this week. So I'm going to go ahead and give my final thoughts and score first. I've
Hmm.
already talked like this is one of the best animated films I've ever seen, if not the best. I think that stick figures are all you need here. I
Hmm.
think in the film's short runtime, Don Hertzfeldt shows us that you don't need extravagance, a large budget, multiple voice actors to tell a deeply human and relatable story. This movie makes you look inward. It makes you reflect on yourself and your own struggles, either mentally or physically, and the people around you and where you come from and where you're going. And there's so much to this movie in such a short runtime. It's absolutely, thoroughly brilliant. And so for me, it's a perfect 5 out of 5 film. I gave it 100 out of 100. It's a movie that I can watch at any time of the day, and I will always cry when watching it. I love watching this movie. It is one of those movies that reaffirms why I'm getting my master's in film and why I love film so much.
Very cool. Very cool. I would agree with you. This is a perfectly paced movie with perfectly emotionless main character, but you feel so much emotion and being emitted from him while watching this. And you can, again, you can understand it from a today standpoint, and you watch this 10 years from now, and you can might get something else from out of it. And that's what's awesome about some of these movies that we have watched on this show, because you can grow with the movie, or you can even grow away from the movie because of the certain situation that you were in when you watch the movie. I absolutely love this movie. The animation is so, again, I'm gonna say simple, but it's stick figures and stuff. I know it's not simple, but it's very simple, straight to the point, and it's so impacting with how little there is to see on the screen. Um, Absolutely love the main character in this, and again, it's such a good movie. I said in my review, just please go watch it because it's fantastic. I gave it a 96 out of 100, but I can see this score going up.
Yeah, and the more you watch it, usually, I think the more you learn to kind of grow with it. But
Hmm.
question now falls to you: what do you think of It's Such a Beautiful Day? If you managed to find it and watch it this week, go ahead and leave your comments down in the comment section down below. But remember, be respectful of one another because just be a good human. It's not hard. Next week, though, we are looking at the animated classic Aladdin,
Hmm.
which was on the top 250 for IMDb, but is no
Oh, it
longer.
was. Oh.
It has dropped off, so unfortunately, we'll still be covering it, but it is not a part of the 250 because it was already scheduled. But excited for that, so I'm sure most of you have seen it, so you're probably not going to get
Hmm.
spoiled by it, but it is what it is. But thank you so much for watching. Of course, this show goes live every single Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and just in time for your morning jog, commute, journey, whatever you want to call it. And then, of course, our live stream goes live every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we talk movie news, reviews, and so much more. But that's about it for today. So thank you so much for watching. And until next time, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen.